creating a video podcast file today. I'm Denise Miller, NASA's Do-It-Yourself Podcast Coordinator. Welcome back to our series on creating a podcast using the free resources available on the DIY podcast site. I hope you've had a chance to play with an audio editor and create an audio file using DIY podcast resources. If you subscribe to podcasts that interest you and then create a podcast for your students, you will soon recognize the value of podcasts as a teaching tool. As with the audio project, I will demonstrate the process for using NASA's DIY podcast site to create a video file. We will not focus on a particular type of video editing software. Several choices for free or inexpensive editing software are available on the internet. As a matter of fact, you probably already use the software to edit your family vacation videos. Let's take a minute to talk about why you might want to create a video podcast instead of audio. First, NASA's missions and people are something you have to see. It's fun to talk about rockets and floating in space, but it's much more fun to watch. Next, you've probably heard the saying, to teach is to learn twice. As students demonstrate concepts related to their projects, they will learn even more. Video podcasts present an opportunity for students to teach or demonstrate what they are learning. Another reason to use a video podcast instead of an audio is that a video will be more beneficial to your visual learners. When they watch the presentation, they'll better understand the concepts and will probably watch the video several times, especially if they are starring in it. Creating a video is a good time to get your kinesthetic learners up and moving. They may even be the main actors of the show. Finally, when making a video, there's greater motivation to create a high-quality project. Just imagine how your students will want to create a podcast project when they know there's a possibility that they won't just be heard, but they may even be seen by people around the world. And they may be seen with an astronaut or other NASA expert. The best video productions will include the students as actors demonstrating the science concepts. The steps and equipment for creating a video project are similar to those needed for an audio project. You'll need a script, a video camera, video editing software, downloaded NASA video clips, audio clips and images, and optional music. NASA's video clips, audio clips, and images are copyright and royalty-free. You may use them in your production. But when it comes to music, be sure it's pod-safe. This means that the music is legal to use in your podcast. Pod-safe music can be found online. If you want students to use pod-safe music, download some and put it in folders. Also, download video clips and images and place them into a folder. Just as with our audio project, we'll download the clips we want to use. Then we'll write our script, record our narration, edit our files with NASA's, and share our projects. Remember to have your expectations spelled out before you assign the project to students. Rubric ideas are available on the DIY Podcast blog. With our expectations set, let's create a video file. Starting on the Rocket Science module page, we'll read the overview to decide which part of rocket science we want to focus on. The overview is where students will find background information and begin their research on the subject, which in this case is rockets. At the bottom of the page is a section called More About Rockets, with links to, you guessed it, more resources about the science of rockets. All of these resources are appropriate for students. Check the DIY Podcast blog for teacher-related resources about the module's subjects. After reading the overview, let's define rocket in this episode. Let's see which video clips we might use. Just as with the audio tracks, we can read the transcriptions before playing the clips. Here, our expert is defining rocket. And in the next clip, she names the parts of the rocket. These two clips sound like they will fit well into our project. Let's watch the videos.
A rocket is a launch vehicle, can also be a space capsule, usually in the form of a cylinder or a tube-like structure. All rockets need to have some form of a body or structure to house all the components of it.
We'll definitely incorporate those into our script. But instead of using the parts of a rocket video and seeing a talking head 2 clips in a row, let's use the audio track and show pictures of different rockets. So we will download the first video, audio clip 2A, and some pictures of rockets. I also want to download B-roll footage as filler. I'll click the Rocket Science Experts video clips link to go to our experts video. In a previous session, I demonstrated how to download a video. Let's review. I will right-click Download Video and Save Link As. Now I will name the file the same as its title, What is a Rocket.mp4, and I'll save it in my Rocket Podcast folder. I'll click the back button and click the Rockets, Launches, and Animations video clips link. I'm downloading the Orion Exploration Flight Test Animation video clip. Back to the DIY Podcast Rocket Science page, and I'll click the audio clips link. I will right-click Listen under 2A to download the audio track that I listened to while watching the video. I'll delete the numbers in front of the name to save the file into my Rocket Podcast folder as 02A Rocket Science DIY.mp3. Now let's download pictures of rockets. Each DIY podcast module has a page with links to images. NASA images are not copyrighted. You may use them for your production. The page has a Rocketry Image Gallery link. If the link says Gallery, it points to a page with several downloadable pictures. I will choose pictures from this gallery. I'm going to select 5 pictures from the image gallery to use in our production. If I look at the thumbnails page, I can see several images at once. I like the Atlas V, so I will download that picture for our production. The page has a choice to download any of 3 sizes of the image. For the best quality, I'll use the largest image size. So I'll download the full-size image. Then I'll download 4 more images. All of our NASA files are downloaded. The next step is to write a script. A good production starts with planning. Whether you're shooting a full-length feature film or a short video podcast, you start with a storyboard. A storyboard is your graphic organizer for planning your production. Students can draw what will be on screen and write a brief description of the action. They can create a more detailed plan when they write the script. A 2-column storyboard is a good next step. I like to write what I'm going to see in one column and what I'm going to hear in the other. For easier reference, add a 3rd column for the scene number. Here's my storyboard for the production we'll make today. If this is an interdisciplinary project, the science teacher can work with students on accuracy and the types of demonstration that they might want to perform. The English teacher can work with students on their scripts and their oral communication skills. The computer teacher can help the students edit the final products. According to our script, we will only use the NASA expert for narration. When you and your students create your video projects, you can add the students' audio or video recordings. Let's edit. Editing is a matter of importing files and arranging them on the timeline. Our video editor is open. First, I will save my video project and give it the name Rocket Podcast. We'll begin on the left side of our 2-column storyboard with the video and images. I like adding all of the titles after the videos and images are in place on the timeline. First, I will add the Orion test flight video clip. Then the other video, What is a Rocket? And the images. I'll add all of the images at the same time by single-clicking the top image on the list, then holding down the Shift key and clicking the last image. This selects all of the images in between too. I'll arrange the photos in the order that I want them. Don't forget to save often. I will use the Orion test flight video clip twice. It will also be the last clip in my project. Your software may be different, but with mine, I'm importing it again at the end of the timeline. Now I will edit the Orion test flight clip according to the script, which says the clip begins with the distant view of smoke billowing and ends just after the rocket clears the pad. I will use my trim tool to delete the parts of the clip that I don't need. Remember that your software may be a little different. I may have to play with the trim tool a little to end the clip at the point I want. I'll do the same thing to the Orion test flight clip at the end of our timeline. I'll trim the clip to begin just before the boosters separate and to end after the second stage of the rocket falls away. To finish the left side of the storyboard, I'll add all the text, including the titles, the lower third, and the closing credits. The lower third is the information on the bottom portion of the screen. In this case, the speaker's name and job title are superimposed on the video. The title of our podcast is Science You Can See. We'll add that as the first frame. I'll call this Episode 24, Launching into Rocket Science, and I'll move it to display as the rocket is launching. Now I'll identify the expert on the What is a Rocket clip. Then I will choose how I want her name to appear. Finally, I'll add credits at the end of the video. And choose how I want them to appear. I want them to scroll. To smooth out the appearance of the video, I will add transitions between each clip. Look at the difference. Now I'll add audio and make it align with the imagery according to the storyboard and trim the audio to the length I want. And I'll make the music fade out to transition into the next clip. The best way to be sure I have everything the way I want it is to watch and listen. Then I'll make any adjustments.
A rocket is a launch vehicle, can also be a space capsule, usually in the form of a cylinder or a tube-like structure that launches from the Earth, and it can be used to carry humans into space. It can also be used to carry
After all my final tweaks are made, I'll save the project. Now it's ready to become a movie. It is currently a project file according to the video editor. Depending on your video editor, you probably have several options for saving, sharing, or exporting your movie. Decide how you want to use your movie. I usually like to save it to the computer first. Your editor probably has the option of uploading the video to share on social media sites. But if you've saved your video production as a movie file, congratulations to you! You can burn your video to a DVD, send it in an email, post it to your social media page, or upload it to your school website. There are many ways to share so your students can begin learning with your video. Now you're ready to work with your class to create videos. Don't worry, your students will help you. Remember that what we've created is not a podcast unless you have more episodes and it's posted on the website where it can be downloaded automatically. It's fine if you're not ready to create a podcast yet. You've still created a video file that your students can watch on their computers, their tablets, smartphones, and other electronic devices. Your students will learn on the go with the projects you create with them. They can watch the videos repeatedly. Repetition reinforces learning. Our video is not elaborate. When you create videos with your students, you'll have student demonstrations and interviews, student-created graphics, and more. Let your students be heard and seen. It wouldn't be a DIY podcast tutorial if we did not end with an assignment. So your assignment is to build a video file with NASA's Do-It-Yourself podcast resources. There are many ways to do it. I've only shown you one possibility. Then stay in touch with us via the DIY Podcast blog. It has been a pleasure to demonstrate to you how to use NASA's DIY Podcast. We at NASA Education hope you find our product useful for teaching the next generation of explorers. I'm Denise Miller. Thank you for watching.